Kumusta ug maayong adlaw kabayan? Welcome back to the Pinoy Expat. My name is Icon and I am your host. Dito sa Pinoy Expat, pag-uusapan natin ang iba't ibang aspeto ng buhay ng Pilipino sa ibang bansa. Ngayong araw kasama natin si Alex, isang former student visa holder dito sa Australia who has had the bad experience of being exploited by his employer. Samahan niyo ako at pakinggan natin ang kanyang kwento. Alex, kumusta? Magandang hapon.
Magandang hapon, Tito Icon. Ito, okay pa naman. Buhay pa.
Buhay pa naman. Oo, buhay pa naman
buhay.
kahit papaano. Okay, that's good to hear. Okay, you came to me sa TikTok saying na you have a bad experience to tell and I am here to listen.
Yes. So, paano ba natin sisimulan to?
Okay, paano ba? Sige, let's start from the beginning. You were a student visa holder and then meron kang employer who exploited you. I guess let's start from there. In what way ka ba na-exploit?
So, meron mga times kasi na pinagtatrabaho ako more than dun sa agreed hours and then hindi ako nababayaran. That's one. Second is yung parang yung paano ko ba mas mabilis na may explain to? Yung parang 1950s style ng slavery. Yung mga ganong klaseng bagay. And toxic work environment. Ganon talaga. As in a 21st century time na you are not expecting this kind of behavior towards sa mga employers is still happening.
Okay. Not to mention na nandito tayo sa Australia, no? Parang this is something that you wouldn't expect from a first world country.
Exactly. Ganun ng ano. So, parang mind-boggling and at the same time horrifying to the point that it would traumatize someone if hindi ang kanilang mental fortitude, kumbaga.
Right. Okay. And tell us quickly, kailan ba ito nangyari?
Actually, it happened way back nung nasa Brisbane pa ako. As I recall, that was September 2023 up until March of September 2022 up until March of 2023.
So parang halos I wouldn't say katatapos ng COVID, siguro during this time you have full working hours pa kasi student visa tapos kailan ba uli na restricted? 'Di ba last year lang or was it 2023?
July 1, 2022 actually, Tito Icon. So, binalik nila yung 48 hours na restriction.
Wait, that was 3 years ago or almost 3 years ago na pala yun na binalik yung
Oo.
parang feeling
Oo.
ko kailan lang yun na binalik eh. Okay. So ibig sabihin during this time medyo limited working hours ka na rin and then at the same time pinapatrabaho ka ng mga times na may mga times na pinapatrabaho ka at hindi bayad.
Yes.
And what did you say or do about it during that time?
At first, tinanong ko yung mga Pinoy din na nakakasalamuha ko na daily and kung ano bang dapat kong gawin, ganito, ganyan. It all boils down to one conclusive feedback which is get used with the abuse, sabi nila. So,
Wow.
oh yeah. Siguro in a way kasi parang ang dating is dayuhan ako sa lugar nila o dayuhan ako dito and I have to uh, makibagay, kumbaga maki-fit in kung paano yung culture nila dito or yung work culture. Parang naging ganun eh. But then again, although I did suck it up, kumbaga di ba nga sabi is get used with the abuse, there's certain limits that will push someone to its edges, kumbaga.
And you were definitely pushed
Yes, most definitely. Na to the point na, well, I can't take it anymore. So, just leave.
Okay. Before tayo pumunta dun sa next mo na ginawa, balikan natin konti. Ang sabi ng mga karamihan na Pinoy din, "Get used with the abuse." So, ibig sabihin ba nito, regular na nangyayari talaga itong ganito na pinapatrabaho yung mga, student visa holders tapos hindi sinusweldohan?
Well, I cannot say, for their experience kung ano yung nangyayari sa kanila kasi parang ang nagiging or kung paano ko na-receive yung gano'ng, advice is hindi kami nagwo-work sa same workplace. Kumbaga parang nami-meet ko lang na tao na sa mga mutual friends, acquaintances, gano'n lang. But yun yung nagiging ano sa akin, parang dito, ah you're a man, eh, kumbaga, you're a man, suck it up. It is what it is. So,
Right. Sabi ko nga,
yeah.
it is what is it, isn't it? But kidding aside, kidding aside, yung sabi mo kasi ako ha, at least for me, I can't speak for everyone, but in my experience, yung work culture dito sa Australia is very good. It's something that I'm proud of. But here you are saying na yung work culture sa napagtrabahuan mo is very toxic, and not only that, hindi ka binabayaran. Ano ba yung was it Australians ba yung mo, yung employers mo? Were they Filipinos?
Unfortunately, yung employer ko is Australian.
Right. So wala sa culture niya siguro niya being an Australian na tratuhin ng tama yung,
Mm.
employees niya. Would you say that is it because that you are a student visa holder?
Well, I would say na ano, he treats certain people of color, eh.
Right. Okay, so
So, I
this
did had the yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, at that time kasi, I did had that opportunity to speak with other or previous employees, eh. Certain people of color din. Most of them are Asians, but they all go through the same nightmare as I had. It's just that sa kanila kasi is they didn't have the opportunity to voice out their experience. Eh.
Right. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ito exclusive na exploitation towards student visa holders, but rather a serious case of racism.
Parang ganun, yes.
Right. And in this day of age, racism, especially here in Australia, well, siguro sa mga remote na areas in Australia, it's still prevalent, but over here in the cities, in the major cities, it's very minimal na. And I'm sorry to hear na yun yung experience mo pala na it's not just exploitation of student visa holders, but rather racism pala talaga siya.
Yes, it happens on a daily.
Okay, so that happens on a daily. Ano pa yung ibang experience ano pa yung ibang exploitation or maybe even abuse na natatanggap mo on a daily basis?
Well, nandun na yung, parang lagi na sinasabi nila na hindi standards yung ginagawa ko, hindi ako nagbibigay ng tamang feedback or whatsoever regarding my work. And to the point na parang naku-question ko na rin yung sarili ko na, "Teka, tama naman. I've been practicing this certain field for about 7 years before I came into Australia, and I was a manager as well. And I know for myself that I'm doing this right." So, kumbaga parang mapapatanong ka na lang din na, tama pa ba 'to or what? And at the same time, there are instances din na kulang na lang sabihan kang bobo. Gano'n yung
Right, so ang nangyayari, para ngayon nagkakaroon ka na ng imposter syndrome. You're
parang
questioning
gano'n.
yourself, your skills. Okay, my other question is wait, nawala yung train of thought ko. May sinasabi mo ano nga yung sinasabi mo uli kanina na parang sinasabi mo na on a daily basis. Okay, just to be clear and balikan lang natin ng konti, ano ba yung, industry mo? Ano yung, trabaho mo exactly?
Before I was a network and data engineer. So technically IT.
Okay. And then
So I've been
IT ka sa
yeah,
Pilipinas and then yung trabaho mo sa Brisbane?
IT pa rin.
Right. Okay. So you're on a student visa pero hindi ka sa hospitality, hindi ka sa cleaning or anything. Were you working in an office setup?
In an office, no. Sa ano siya eh, parang home office kumbaga. Home
Right.
office
Oh.
nung may-ari. But
Mhm.
uh, before, yes, I did work sa hospitality.
Okay.
Bago ako maging IT. Nagtrabaho din ako sa hospitality.
Okay. Pero yung sa hospitality dun, yung experience mo, would you
Well,
say
it
it's
was okay. It's I would well, if I could go back time, siguro mas okay pang magtrabaho na lang sa kusina kaysa magtrabaho pa dito sa employer na 'to. Gano'n
right.
yung masasabi ko.
So ganun siya kalala.
Gano'n siya kalala.
Okay. So moving forward, once you confronted it or once na sinabi ng mga yung feedback sa is get used with the abuse, sabi mo, sige, ganun na lang, it is what it is, and then move forward. How did you move forward?
So nung, the time ang ginagawa ko is na-experience ko nga yung ganitong klaseng issue sa employer ko, and what I did use of my time is, kasi may certain practices ang IT, eh, na nagbabago, every single day, every single month, ganito, ganyan. And for me, ginawa ko na lang siyang parang learning phase. So, inaral ko na lang kung paano ba yung tamang approach sa ganito, tamang approach sa ganyan. Uh, at the same time, nagkakaroon din ako ng uh, good relationship sa mga customers namin. So, yun yung mas importante sa akin. Kumbaga, paano ako nakikita ng mga customers namin. Kumbaga, hindi ako magkakaroon ng negative feedback. Di bale nang sa employer, wag lang sa akin.
Okay.
Kumbaga.
So madaling sabi, yeah, you suck it up and then ginamit mo yung oras to learn and then um be better at what you do. Pero what about yung sa employer mo? Did you confront them? Sinabi mo na hindi ka happy sa ganito or you ended up resigning ba? Anong ginawa mo?
Ah, so first, ang ginawa ko is to formalize it na nag-send ako ng email na ganito yung nangyayari, ito yung ina-experience ko. And to the point na hindi na talaga siya acceptable, sabi ko sa kanya. And I even outlined dun sa email ko na gusto kong magtrabaho pa para sa company kasi I see potential eh. I see potential to the company and at the same time yung customer base is okay. Wala akong masasabing negative sa mga customers na na-handle ko or napuntahan ko during my work. It's just that, kumbaga sabi nga nila, di ba? Good employees don't leave a good company. They leave bad management.
Yep, and I
So that's
totally agree.
exactly what happened. Yes. So, ganun yung nangyari. It's just that so happen na yung management is yung may-ari lang talaga. Kasi maliit na company lang kami eh. So, when I joined the company, parang tatlo, apat lang yata kami.
Right. So para siyang startup lang.
Actually, hindi siya startup. Um, he claims na matagal na yung company since 1995.
So I guess di siya
But,
in that regard, if that's the case, then hindi siya nag-grow as a
mm,
manager, as an owner. So
mm,
ang once you experience that abuse, send ka ng email, what did you do next?
well, I did try to check on the behavior. May improvement ba or if he's willing to work. Kumbaga parang we'll meet at the middle but as they pass on mula nung sinend ko yung email, and everything is drastically leaning towards disaster or leaning towards much unhealthier and much toxic work environment. To the point na, ay, hindi ko na talaga kaya. I'm sorry. I'm leaving.
And you ended up leaving.
Yes, I did ended up leaving. Kasi hindi na talaga eh.
And ano yung masasabi mo na breaking point mo na sinabi mo, that's it, ayoko na. I can't take this anymore. I cannot anymore.
There was one instance kasi na nag-send pa siya ng threat sa akin via email eh.
Okay. And then
So,
anong sinabi, how did the threat come to you?
parang ganito, ipapa-paraphrase ko na lang kung paano ko siya na-receive. So, pinagbantaan yung aking buhay dito sa Australia, and kaya niya daw sirain ang aking buhay dito sa Australia kasi he's quote-unquote well-connected sa mga tao dito. So, I did file for a police report regarding that. But again, uh, I'm not a citizen. I'm a student. They wouldn't even bother to check on it.
Right. Okay.
So,
And what about Fair Work? Did you have a chance to call Fair Work Australia?
yes, yes, I did. Currently, may ongoing na litigation regarding that, and may may hearing kumbaga regarding this. So that's gonna happen sometime this year.
Okay. So hopefully the government does something dun sa employer na yun.
Hopefully, that's one. And uh, it's also frustrating na uh, I did try to call our embassy as well
And then anong
to
sinabi
get
ng embassy?
being an embassy. So there, alam mo siguro to the person na tumawag sa akin. Kasi when you call to the Philippine Embassy is there's two sections eh. You make a call to them, and then they'll gather the information. Then somebody will give you a call back. So I just hope na yung nakausap ko nung sa second phase is have been much more empathetic sa mga situation ng mga ng mga OFW abroad. Kasi hindi ko narinig yun eh. Hindi ko na feel na para ako nakipag-usap sa robot kumbaga.
Right. Okay. And
So,
being a kapwa Pilipino, you would hope na they would be more empathetic.
yes, and kasi kung sa call center sa Pilipinas nagagawa natin maging empathetic sa mga ibang tao, bakit sa kapwa nating Pilipino hindi natin magawa?
Very good
'Di
point.
ba?
Balik lang tayo ng konti during the time na bago ka pa lang dun sa employer. Did you see any or notice any red flags prior that could have warned you na, "Uy, wait lang, parang toxic tong employer ko, ah."
Actually, una meron talaga. Nung una kasi, hindi ako sa sa state na yon, galing ako ng ibang state. So, nung una, gusto niya akong paliparin. Tapos, nung tinatanong ko, sabi ko, wala bang contract? Sabi ko,
Right.
bakit walang contract na offer letter, ganito, ganyan. Para at least mawi ko kung viable option ba talaga to. But, kasi, again, siguro parang umiral na lang din sa akin yung kagustuhan ko na bumalik ako agad-agad sa IT industry kasi I've been doing this for a good amount of time na eh. Tapos nag-hospitality ako, 'di ba? So sobrang malayo. So sabi ko,
Right.
sige, try ko na lang, tignan ko anong mangyayari. And ayun, that happened.
So medyo na-lure ka dun sa prospect na you can be working back sa IT. So parang kinagat mo siya regardless na okay, walang contract, parang medyo dodgy pero hayaan mo na, sige na, parang gano'n.
Not just that. Kasi inofferan din ako nung ano eh, ng working visa and inofferan din ako ng citizenship eventually.
And
So,
yeah, well, just to be ano kasi citizenship is not something that any Australian can
mm,
offer sa iyo na operan kita ng
mm,
citizenship but yeah, that's not how it works unless siguro
mm,
permanent residency yan, pwede pa. Pero yung sabihin
mm,
na operan kita ng citizenship, it's not something na
mm,
doable. But yeah, I guess that's
mm.
a red flag na din. In hindsight, looking back now, kung alam mo lang na ganun pala yung magiging papagdaanan mo, would you have thought back then na, "Ay, hindi ko 'to tatanggapin kasi walang contract."
Siguro, well, like I said earlier, siguro dito if I can turn back time, na sabihin ko na, if I'll go back to being a kitchen hand than doing this IT work, I would. Actually, mas
Right.
fulfilling pa nga para sa akin yung magtrabaho dun sa, nung ako'y kitchen hand kasi okay yung work culture namin dun, eh. Yes, hindi gano'n kalaki yan ang sahod at, naglalakad ako ng 1 oras at kalahati makauwi lang. But hindi ko ma-feel na trabaho talaga yung, nung nagtatrabaho ako sa kusina.
Compared dun sa nagtatrabaho ka for this employer.
Yes.
Ano yung situation mo ngayon now that you have left that toxic environment?
Currently, naka 482 naman na ako sa aking current employer. And I would say na this employer is the total opposite of my previous experience. Although, minsan, syempre, hindi mo siguro mawawaglit sa akin yung minsan skeptical ako or parang napapatanong din ako. Kasi I had the negative experience na eh. So, ah, kumbaga parang I have to safeguard myself, kumbaga. Ano na yung
May
nangyayari
trauma
sa
na,
akin.
eh.
Oo, gano'n na, eh. So, kumbaga sa'kin, "Oops, tignan muna natin. Mahirap na, baka
Right.
maulit na naman." Eh, especially pa ngayon iba na ang sitwasyon, hindi na yung katulad nung dati na ako lang, hindi na pupuwede.
Do you think na kung hindi ka dumaan dun sa toxic employer na yon, magkakaroon ka pa rin ng 482 ngayon?
I would believe that, yes, I think, I would still argue that I would still have, the 482 kasi given yung experience ko in handling, uh, well, yung previous work experience ko talaga sa Pilipinas, which is, pretty much I could say like solidified na bago pa ako dumating dito, eh.
Right.
So, it's just that, yes, I would understand na, ang IT work is something na talagang lacking dito sa Australia kasi ino-offshore and mahirap ang competition, ng market dito ng IT. Kumbaga hindi katulad sa'tin dun sa Pilipinas na pagka, for example, ano ka lang, provisioning ka lang. Hindi katulad dito,
Mhm.
ikaw ang gagawa lahat, eh.
Okay. So you would say na kahit na hindi ka nag-work for that toxic environment, makakakuha ka pa din ng 482. And that's good.
Yes.
Congratulations, by the way, naka 482 ka na. You're a step closer to hopefully
Yes.
becoming a permanent resident. Um
Mm.
my next question is, how has this experience shaped your current thinking or mindset about being an expat dito sa Australia, or at least being a student visa holder dito sa Australia?
Siguro magiging ano, mas naging vigilant na ako pagdating sa mga papers. Na
Right.
hindi porket sinabi mo, gano'n talaga. I needed to be on paper. Kumbaga parang gusto ko ng assurance na ito yung mangyayari, ganito talaga, ito yung ano, kumbaga, na-traumatize ka eh. Kumbaga na-trauma na ako, eh. Kumbaga
Oo.
ito na yung, ah, nagiging skeptical na ako parang may danger sense na ako kumbaga.
Mm. May spider
Um,
sense ka na.
Oo. Kumbaga, oops, kailangan ko muna makita 'to bago natin pag-usapan 'tong ganito. Yun well,
Right.
naintindihan naman nila.
And I think that's good because yun na nga kapag wala kang kasulatan, I think I mentioned this in a previous video on TikTok, na kapag walang kasulatan, wala kayong contract, wala kayong formal agreement, don't hold your breath. Huwag ka masyadong complacent and try to look for other options kasi hindi ibig sabihin sinabi niya na, oh, sponsoran kita. They will actually do it. What was or what is the biggest lesson for you after going through that experience?
Siguro ano, before going into, a certain employer, check niyo yung company review.
So
Not
yun,
just for the
kasi mm,
customer base, but also check yung, employee review. Yun
right.
yung pinaka sa'kin, for me, ano lang, yun yung makakatulong para sa'yo to gauge your decision kumbaga. Siguro also get connected to people, especially yung mga kahit na let's say yung hindi talaga makakatulong sa'yo na mag-move forward sa ganitong klaseng setup is yung parang may makausap ka ba. Kasi ang hirap ng buhay dito sa abroad, lalo na kung ikaw lang mag-isa. Kailangan mo pa rin ng kahit papaano may makikinig sa'yo, may, may mga kasama ka, ganyan, para masabi mo yung, makapag-vent out ka ba sa mga bagay-bagay. Ayun, importante yun, for your mental health din.
Yung sinasabi mo na check yung company, check background check mo din
Hmm,
kahit papaano. But back
hmm,
then you were on a student visa and a
hmm.
lot of student visa holders, halos alam mo yung tipong di bale na kahit anong position, makapasok lang. Parang ganun yung dating na basta may trabaho kasi hirap nga maghanap ng trabaho. What would you say then to your previous or itong mga student visa holders ngayon nga, what would you say to them? Ano yung magiging advice mo sa kanila when looking for work?
Siguro maging vigilant din. Again, employers are asking for a background check about you, 'di ba? During the hiring process. So, it's also, I think for me, it's fair for you as a future employee to check the background of your employer.
Yeah. Tama ka. I think that's fair. Okay, I guess that's it for now. Medyo maiksi lang yung oras natin. Thank you so much Alex for sharing your
Mm,
story. Ang dami ko ding realization sa talking to you. Thank you for
mm,
sharing your story and hopefully yung iba ding mga viewers din natin they can pick up a lesson or two after listening to your
mm.
story. Any last words para sa kanila, para sa mga viewers natin?
Huwag kayong mawawalan ng pag-asa. So, hangga't may buhay, hangga't may humihinga ka, sasabihin na natin na parehas tayong sitwasyon na nahihirapan ka. Hangga't humihinga ka, kaya mo pa rin humanap ng ibang paraan para mapabuti ang iyong kalagayan. Hindi yan natatapos sa isang sa isang maling desisyon.
Yes. Sabi ko nga lagi, hangga't meron kang ginagawa para sa sarili mo, meron at merong magbabago. Imposibleng wala.
Mm.
Well, I guess yun na nga. That's it. Thank you so much, Alex. Napakagandang interview. Pagpupulutan ng aral talaga, especially for those who are a bit new here sa Australia, mapa-student visa holder
Mm.
man or skilled visa man, anyone na bago lang dito sa
Mm.
Australia or any other country or place in the world for that
Mm.
matter. Once again, guys, Alex, somewhere here in Australia, hindi na natin na babanggitin kung nasaan siya ngayon. But yeah, yun yung experience niya and for sure may ibang Pilipino rin na nakaka-experience ng ganito or naka-experience ng ganito and I hope you guys can pick up a lesson or two. If you want more videos like this, make sure to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and on Facebook. And if you want to share your stories, feel free to reach out. Once again, my name is Icon, and you're watching The Pinoy Expat. See ya!